manage time? Okay, thank you. So we want to ensure we manage time and we're also able to answer all questions. Now, this is already scheduled to be a weekly section. And what's the objective? The objective of this section is to give every participant of the bootcamp an opportunity to ask questions concerning your learnings and probably your assignments, things you have been studying or trying to get through during the week that, oh, I've read the course, I've studied the program, but I don't completely understand. So you want an opportunity to ask questions. So this evening, we're going to have your mentors are part of this call. So we're going to be in a coordinated fashion, have 1, 2 of them come up. Then if you have a question, you raise your hand, you ask the question, and they would answer. Now, I want to also make it clear that they are not going to be the ones to give you answers to your assignments. That's not the purpose. You have assignments, you're supposed to, part of what is expected of you as participants of this bootcamp is to be able to perform your personal research, develop skills while learning. That's why you have the assignments. However, your mentors are going to provide you guidance. So when you have questions, they're going to give you guidance, maybe tell you, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Okay, I suggest you try this, try that, and things like that. Now, before I go ahead to bring up the first mentor who is going to be answering questions, just with on the chat box, today is Saturday. So during the week, a lot of people had login issues. And our amazing Mr. Kingsley did his best. Like, in fact, I would say let's even put like clap hand emoji to Mr. Kingsley. He did his best to ensure that he resolved all the login issues. So as of today, if you still have issues logging into the LMS portal, please can you put in the chat box, yes, I have issues. Let's know if there's anyone, as this is 1 week into the bootcamp. We want to know, does anyone have any issues concerning logging in or navigating the LMS portal? Let's start with logging in issues. Do you have any issues at all concerning your LMS portal? Maybe you're trying to do your assignment, it's not clicking, it's not working, or you have not even logged in. Any issues concerning the LMS portal, please can you put in the chat box, yes, I have issues. Okay, I can see Ayotunde said he or she has issues. That is surprising. So thank you, Ayotunde, that you have issues. Can you please, in the WhatsApp group, please, because we're trying to manage time as regards the issue. In the WhatsApp group.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Hello?
Yes, was when you said, can you all hear me? When you started the meeting.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Sorry for the mix-up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so seeing that I do not have any feedbacks as regards issues on LMS, so want to say thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley. We celebrate you. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Kingsley, for making that happen. So now we're going to go into the agenda of today, which is bringing up a mentor, one of your mentors, to answer the questions you have. Please keep your questions short. Remember, you're not the only one that has questions. We have 200 participants in this bootcamp. I believe many people have questions. So please keep it short so that you give room for other people to ask their questions. And the first mentor coming up today is no other person than our pioneer himself, Mr. Oluwasegun Adesoye. Please, let's show him some love in the chat box. You know, put the clap emojis, smiley faces. Let's show him some love as he takes the stage. Mr. Oluwasegun Adesoye, please, the stage is yours. The next thing I'm going to do now is, if you have a question, please raise your hand. I would monitor the chat box and then I would call you up. Then you can ask your questions. Then, peradventure, you have additional questions when somebody is speaking, you can put it in the chat box. So let's say somebody is asking, I'll use a general one. I think I noticed in the WhatsApp group. Before, a lot of people were asking something about GitHub one thing. Like I said, pardon me, I am not your IT person. And even though I saw some things that I cannot mention in my mouth, Jesus forgive me, right? People are talking about GitHub. So if someone's asking a question that you also want to ask, right? Just you can put in chat box, maybe me included or something like that. Or you have a supporting question to that. Rather than take up the space, let's just put, engage in the chat box and we'll try to monitor it as well, right? So who is the first person who has the first question? Just raise up your hand and I'll call you up. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So before you ask the question, let me just say a few things. So firstly, I went through the question that was being asked on the forum and I go through all the contributions and I could see that I could note 2 points. So one of it is many of us don't follow the step-by-step procedure that is on the platform. So that is why sometimes we have some questions. For example, some people are asking, where is the video or where can I learn more about Git? And this is attached in the course curriculum. So if you follow it from the beginning, the next step and the next step, then you should know what to do after the next and the next. So that's one of the reasons why some of us has some challenge. Secondly, some of us, we don't read the instruction, like you still focus on the first one and follow through the course. So I will recommend and I will advise us to follow the instruction, take it one after the other. You don't need to jump to the third course. Okay, I think you can't even go there until you finish the first one. So follow it one after the other, then you'll be able to understand. Okay, so let me go to question. So let's begin.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adesanya. Thanks for those 2 key advice, really spot on. And I hope we all took notes. So who is the first person that has a question? Just please raise your hand. I would call you up. Anyone? I can't see any hands raised. Is anybody raising his or her hands? Or maybe I'm not seeing you properly. Any hands raised somewhere?
If there's none yet, so let me quickly share my screen and try to show some things on Git and on GitHub. I think there are some common questions there.
Okay,
so let me
that'll be
try and
great.
share my screen.
Okay, thank you so much.
Recording in progress.
Please, can we mute yourselves, please? Abayomi, please, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you.
Okay, so can you all see my screen?
Not yet.
We can't see it yet, no. It's coming up now. Yes, we can now.
Okay, so so let me quickly go on Git. So under Git, Git and GitHub. So under this section, am I there? Oh, now I'm just a moment. Oh, now I will need, okay, just a moment. Now I think I will need Hope. Thank God Hope is on the call. Oh, okay. It's fine. Oh, okay. Yeah. So let me just do a rundown on this. So it's just like you thinking like you are in a team and you want to achieve this. Is a very simple project. So some people have challenge on this. So before I use another link here, which is an SSH. So I want to just explain the difference between the SSH, how you can do that, or if you want to use if you want to just use the Git clone from HTTP. So let's go to GitHub. So there's a documentation here that you can follow, and it's really going to make it easy to understand. So I'll be using my own page. Let me just go to my repository. So let's assume we have, okay, hold on a minute. Let me go to this shop instead. Okay. So we have a repository here in which we are to clone or fork or so if you want to clone this, you can do it in two methods. Maybe you just use the git clone, then HTTP, or if you want to just fork it into your own repo like that. So if you want to do that, you just use this. And you can see those people that have forked the repo so far. So they just fork it in their own repo, then they can clone it from there, or they can just use it and push it. So, but this is what I want to show us. So if you go to here, my profile, and you go to settings. So if you go to settings and then you go to SSH and GCP key. So then you come here, you see new SSH key. So if you click on new SSH key, it's going to do a pop-up here. Then you can just say, maybe I want to do Git key. Just give it a title. Then I say, okay, it's an authentication key. Then you can now paste the key here and add it. Then the question is, how are we going to, get the key? Okay, let me do this. Let me go back. Let me just open this in a new tab. So from here, so one important thing I want to mention here is to understand more about any concept, you need to spend time reading documentation. So documentation is what will help you to understand the principle, the techniques, and everything that is being used. So you need to spend time reading what documentation. So all the process or anything, all the procedure step you need, you can do it there. So I personally will prefer to generate this SSH key and put it in my folder. Then if I want to clone, I can just clone directly from there. So now let's just read this, generate SSH key. So you see different documentation about SSH key, using SSH agent forward, managing deploy key. So what most people do sometimes, they can just, okay, they will just Git login, put in their password, then they start using it. But I will recommend that you try and use the SSH key and put it on your Git. So some people, I can see that some people doesn't have that issue earlier. One of the reasons is because probably they add the SSH key already in their folder and in their Git. So now, if you go to using SSH agent forward, you can read about this. Then, so now let's go to generate new SSH key. So if you want to generate a new SSH key, so what you need to do is you open your terminal, whichever terminal you are using, you just follow through the documentation. Then you see SSH key gen, put in your email. Using this command, then you put in your email. So this, if you are using a legacy system that does not support this algorithm, then you can just use this. So this is just like you want to put in the byte you are using. So this B is the byte. The key you are generating is an RSA key. but we are just going, so mostly I recommend you just use this instead of this. So once you generate it, so I'm going to do a quick run through now, then it's going to put it in the, you are going to get a public and private key. So once you get that, you will see it here. Then you can come back here and put your key here. So once you put the key here and then you add it. So that is what the way to do that. So when you do that, you want to add an SSH key, just use the documentation. If you want to use the Git CLI, maybe this is Mac. If you are using Mac, you use Mac. Because I'm using Mac here, that's why I put. If you are using Linux, you change it to Linux. Then if you want to use the Git CLI, it's going to bring it to you. If you just want to use the Git CLI, or if you are using Windows, majority of the people use Windows, so you see the procedure is different. So let's assume Mac now that I'm using, and I want to use the web console. That is when I will just copy it and paste it here. So you see the procedure. As of that, okay, we have a question. Where can you?
Yes, so there's a question in the chat box. Thanks for the explanation so far. Someone asked, let me read it out. That's Noi B. Abdurazak says, for us that fought the repo, hope it's okay. And if you, I think that came up while you were explaining, so you don't go too far.
Yeah, sure, it's okay. So once you fork it, so you forking it is like you are bringing it into your own home. So when you fork it, you see it in your own repository. So you can just do a Git clone directly from other repository, and it won't be on your own repository. So if you do a fork, it's going to be on your repository. So that is just it. So it's okay to just to fork the repo. So just like you see the procedure here on which you add the new SSH key, you get your private key, you get your public key. So let me just do so let's assume now that I want to generate a key. Let me do a key gen SSH, like okay, SSH key gen, SSH key gen. So you don't mind my keyboard. I'm using a different keyboard. -T. Okay, let me do -B. Let me do 2048. Then dash what's that code? -T. Then we are using the RSA. So now once I do this, what is going to be pop is going to enter the file in which to save the key. So it's telling me the default settings that is going to bring is this .ssh RSA. So this is the private. And what RSA.pub is the public. So let me now click here. Yes, enter and empty for non-paraphrase. So if I want to put like a more security code, like I want to like make it more secure, I can just put, maybe let me just put one password like that. So I put in a password. So this tells me that I have generated this RSA now. I've generated this. The key fingerprint is this. So I've generated this my SSH key. So if you come here, so if you read the procedure, so if you see it here, adding the new SSH key. So the first thing is copy the SSH public key to your clipboard. So when you do that, you have copied the SSH key, which you are going to do now. Then you go to these settings like this one I showed or show you. Then after that, you go to settings. Then in the access section, click SSH, just like I showed us. Then click on add the SSA, blah, blah, blah. So but let me just do it. Remember, I save it here. So let me just go to this folder now, copy. Let me do a cut on this. So remember the other time we have, okay, let me do this. Let me just go to SSH. Oh, sorry. I can't use cat. That's a directory. I just want to go into that folder. I want to show the two files that were generated. Can you see my terminal? Is it too small?
Yes.
Okay, sorry for that. What about now? Is it
Yes.
okay?
It's better now.
Oh, okay, sorry, you should have told me. So I don't want to make it like big screen that it will be too tiny because I'm using a very big screen here, so it will be kind of tiny. So but you can see what I'm doing, right? So I'm in this folder. If you just do LX, you will see two key. This is the ID underscore SA dot public. Then this one is your private key. So your private key should be always be private. You don't what? You don't share your private key. So if you want to put in your, excuse me, if you want to put in anything, you put in your public key, not your private key. So now let me cut this public key. Oh, sorry. Cut this. So this is my public key. So I copy it, then I go to this. Let me just say git key, paste, then add. So you can see that you see the git key here. So this one, I don't need to do git login again. Maybe I'm using, if, for example, maybe I've not registered git on this my terminal before. So some people that are having authentication issue, I think I speak with someone today like he's having an authentication issue. So once you use this SSH key, if you do anything that you want to push, is already connected to your Git. So if you want to pull or push, you won't have any issue. So once you just go in here and like you fork the repo. So you just fork the repo and it's there. Let me just go back to the repo. Oh, I've done many steps. I can just use any repo, for example. Let me just use another repository. Let me just go to my repository. Maybe this now, for example. So I just come to, okay, sure. So I come here. I should be able to use this SSH key. So I can use this. This is HTTP. This is SSH. So I can just do copy. Then I go to my terminal. Let me clear this so we can see it. Oh, okay. Do I copy it? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I didn't copy that. Okay. So now remember that I put a paraphrase then. So that is why it's giving me this. So if I didn't put any paraphrase, so it's just it's just a security layer. So you can see that I can clone this repo now. So let me try the other one. Where is that? The repo, the initial one. What? Mm-hmm. What am I doing wrong? Okay. What? What? Okay. So if I go to this now and I go to code and I use this SSH, then I do a git clone. Okay, so at every time it's asking for my paraphrase key. So you can see that I can just clone it directly. So, and at the same time, I can decide to use, HTTPS. So that is why you see that the two links are different. If I use HTTPS, I don't need to, use the SSH. So the same thing with HTTPS, I can do a git clone just like that. Oh, okay, I have this part already. Okay, I clone in this place, right? Okay, let me do this. Let me just remove this folder. I don't put anything here. Okay. Okay, which other one? Um, okay. Sorry. RM dash RF. Oh, okay. So you could notice something now that I have non-host old. So the reason is because I have a SSH key there before. So that is the non-host, which is the old one. I just generated a new one. That is the new one. Did you get? So let me just leave this folder and try to do a git clone using HTTP. So let me use this now, git clone using HTTP. There's already existing an empty directory. Okay, so I already have this in this directory. Okay, let me go to desktop. Oh, sorry. Let me go to my desktop. Okay, let me do this. So now I could clone this. So both HTTPS and SSH, both of them works now, but you can see how they work. So with that you can do. So let me do a git pull. It is new, so there won't be any. Oh, okay. Sorry. So let me go to that folder. Okay, cd git ls. So I have this. So let's do a git status. Do I have a git in it? You can see doing a git status, it showed me I was doing git before and it's telling me fata because I'm not in that folder that has this .git. So how do we know that this folder has a .git? If you do /layout, you will see it here that it has this git. So now let me do something. So let me remove this git rm-rf. So see ls, I don't have anything git. So if I do git status, it will tell me not a git repository because the .git is what initiates git. So if I want to add a git repository, I will say git in it. So it already adds the repository git status. So do you know the reason why once I do git in it, it initiates with that git? Because I have my SSH key, so it makes it so easy and simple. So you can see on track file telling me, okay, something has changed in this one. It told me no commit yet, nothing to commit. So if I do a git pull, maybe someone just push to it now, you will see there is no track information for the current branch. So I can try to what? To create a new branch. So I can create a new branch, I can add, I can merge, I can do anything. Do you understand? Does anybody has any question?
Yes, we have a question in the chat box. Someone says, what about
Okay.
adding the private key to the SSH agent?
Your private key to the SSH agents.
Yes.
So you don't, I said earlier, you don't put your private key anywhere. So yeah, let me go into the folder. Okay. Remember when I went into this folder, this is your private key, right? So your private key is stored in your own folder. You only give out your public key. So anywhere you want to do it, you don't give out your own what? Private key. So your own private key is already stored in your own what? In your own folder, like you already have it stored. So whenever you send out your own public key, you send out your own public key, just like I don't know if you understand how this private and this what did we call it? This authentication work. So it's like a two ways. So we have a private and public. So you send out your own sorry, not private, public key. So your own public key can what? Will be the one. Someone say, can you try to push? Okay, I will do that now. So your own public key is what, if it's being received, anything is the public key that will interact with your private key. So you don't put your private key on anywhere, any platform, except in your own home folder. So it's only your public key that you put out. I don't know if that answers your question. So
Yeah, sorry, can you hear me, please?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yes, I understand what you are saying. I'm actually using a Windows terminal, and from my understanding, if SSH agent is actually running on your Windows um, terminal, there is need for you to put your private key in the SSH agent, except if you are saying that it is not necessary. So I understand that if I put my private key in that SSH directory when it is being generated, then I am okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you are saying. So when it comes to Windows, Windows has a lot of issue. So most of the time people use PuTTY when it comes to SSH in Windows. So when it comes to Windows, the most common one I see is you use PuTTY. So if you are using a client, maybe mobile Steam, it's still what the same process. Once you generate your SSH key, you don't put your private key there, you put your public key. So something like, let me show you here. So people that are using Windows, I think you can try to use this. Mobile, what's the spelling? Oh, is it mobile Steam? Okay, let me just search for SSH clients. I forgot the. So I don't use Windows anyway, so you can see you can use PuTTY. So PuTTY is the most common one, but there is another one which is kind of very easy and fast. I once use it. These are many SSH clients that you are using, but I'm looking for one specific one. SSH clients. Let me see if I can get it. Mobile. Okay, yeah, mobile STAM. Okay. So this is it. So you can just come here and download it. So this is how it looks. So if you do get mobile STEM, so it's free. So you can don't need the subscribe one. So if I do download now, I should be able to use it on my Mac too. So I will have the Mac version. So if you use this, okay. So I want to show you how it works when if you want to put public or private. Oh, okay. This is for Windows. Sorry, it's .zip. I can't I can't use this on the one I downloaded. But just so once you just download this and have this, I'm seeing a zip file. Is all of them zip file? I think mostly it's for Windows, so I'm not surprised if it doesn't work. They're all zip files. .zip. Oh, okay. So once you just use it to put in your public key there, then you could be able to SSH, use it as an SSH agent into anything that you want to do an SSH to. Do you understand? Or do I answer your question rather? Okay, it has a Mac version. Okay. So any other question? Okay, this doesn't have a Mac section. Do we have any other questions? So someone asked a question earlier. Let me check. That can I push, right? Okay.
The person said, can you
Alex.
pushing?
So if I do, let me just do something here. Let me just do VI. Let me just try to edit this, for example. So I put something here. I just put hello, just to make a difference. Then I did git status. It will tell me something has changed. On track file. Okay, so let me do git add all. Then what's the status? You can see that they have changed. That means I've tried to commit it, you see. So let me do a git commit. So let me just do a git commit dash s. Let me just do edit. Let me just do that as the let me remove the sign off. Just put it there, say something like that. So it does that work? Created this, okay. Let me do a git push. So what's this saying? Okay. So remember this one, I'm using the git clone. If you remember, this is the folder I use a git clone. So I clone this using git clone. I mean, HTTPS. So now let me try and go into another folder. CD. Let me go to another folder and use the RSH. Now let's see the difference. Let me see the downloads. Okay, just a moment. SSH. Because I did a git clone, so let me try and do this. Let's see if it works. Okay, I put the paraphrase. I think I need to remove this later. So let me do git status. So let me try and edit something here, like I did here. So let's do git add. This is the only file. Let me do my git commit test. Edit. Oh, shit, sorry. Edit. That's what I'm just putting the name instead of me writing git commit message. So this is my own commit message. Okay, let's do a git push and see. So you see the difference in both of them. So yeah, when I did it the first time, I think it's still on my page. When I did the git push, it showed an error. No configuration push destination. So why? Because I did that one. If you remember, I did a git clone using HTTPS. If you remember, and it's asking me because I've not done git remote add. Sorry, do you have question? So I've not done a git remote add. I've not done git. I didn't do a git push name. I didn't put in my. I didn't like do it from scratch. Like I didn't do all this procedure. If you want to do, you have to add in the git your email, all those things. That is if you, I can show you there in the documentation. So that is why it's giving me this error. Remember, I did this with git clone HTTPS. But when I did it with my git clone with the SSH, I can just do my git push. It pushes it into the main. Now let's go to the. So if I can change that, I can change. Can you all see my screen? Because someone is saying that I can't see. Oh, okay, maybe it's
Yes.
from that person. So now let me just do a refresh on this. You can see here, like it is pushed to main branch. But if I create a branch, maybe I just create another branch and I push to it, it should push to that. Once I do the git checkout, let's just do it. Let me do git checkout dash b new. Let's just use that, right? So I'm now in the new branch. If I do a git push, so push the current branch and set remote assumption, use git push, okay? So I will just use this command, copy, I want to set it as a stream to that new. So it asks me for my paraphrase. So it has pushed it to the branch new. So let's go back here and then, refresh. So you can see two branches. If you go click on the two branches, you can see this is the one I just created. This is the default branch and this is new. Do you get that? So it's just like that. So that's why I put in the SSH key at first. So when I see that people are having issue with it, I put the HTTPS. But some people might have issue with authentication and co. So just use your. So even if you want to start it, let me advise, if you want to start any new project, always just generate your SSH key like we did. Just generate a new SSH key and use SSH just like I did. It's very safe and easy. Just, since you don't need to generate a new one again from your terminal, you just go to SSH key, then add new key, right? Give it a name, let's say project. Then come here and just paste your public key. Go to your public key, copy it, then paste it here, then add. Do you understand? So it's kind of easy like that. So every project you are using like that, generate SSH key. And once you are done with it, just come back here, delete your SSH key. So it's kind of very safe and secure like that. So you just come here, let me try and delete this SSH key now. I can just do delete. I understand. I just want to get it off, delete, bam, that's done. Life continues. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's see. Do you have any questions?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah, there are questions in the chat box.
I'm trying to check the question.
Someone said, can you provide, okay, let me try to read. This one is pretty long. After completing the Git section on Audacity, no certificate was given on completion. It seems like Audacity. Okay, that's administrative questions. We'll come back to that. Can you provide the link for the SSH to fork, please?
No. So this is if you want to fork a repo, you just go to this is vSpot now. Excuse me. You can see that my new activity is recorded there. Just go to this web page. Excuse me. Then this is the GitHub. Wait a minute. Okay, this is the repository. Then you will see this sign here. This is the fork sign. So once you click on this, it's going to say the fork here. You can just fork it. So I think, okay, let me do this. Then let me go to my own repository. So, for example, you can see. No. Oh, sorry. Okay, a minute. So let's take for example this one. This is my project. Can you see this project? Now I'm just going to understand. You can see that 16 people has for this project now. Do you see? So if I want to click on fork, I'm going to see all the people that fork this project. Why is my network slow? Okay. So once I do that, I can just create fork here. Choose so the owner, I can just say, okay, I want to fork this into this repo or anyone, but because it is mine, so I just choose the owner, blah blah, then create a fork. It should be in my repo. So that's just I'm seeing one answer up. Okay, one question. Do you have a question? Is it possible to mute? If you can't talk, you can just put your question in the chat.
Please, if where
So
you
any
are,
other question?
just put your question in the chat. Then I'll quickly read out this question. So it as regards, so I'll try to summarize it. So this person says that he didn't get a certificate of completion from Audacity for the Git section. So what do we upload as proof of course completion?
Let me go to Audacity. You might not see mine, but let me see. So if you don't have if it is a free course, there is just a screen page that shows that you have completed it. They won't like issue a certificate like that. Let me see if I can see that on my own page. So all these ones are more like paid one. You are going to see a certificate here. If you want to do it, you fill certificate. So you see the certificate. This is because so you can see on this also. But the one that is not, let me see. I have a lot of things I've not even complete. Don't mind me. Don't be like me. So this one, I'm trying to see which one that is okay. I think I've complete this. Let me just see the end. Let me see. I think I'm done with this already. Just give the feedback. No, I think I've done this. Let me go to the last page. I'm not sure. Let me see. Then I can see if it's going to display here. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I'm done. I just need to submit a project on this. So that's why it's not complete yet. Let me see the last one. Yeah, I'm done with this one, but I'm here to submit the project. Just a moment. Okay, this is not a good one to explain. Oh, let me just open this again. Let me see just a moment. Let me see the last one. I know I'm done with this already. I want to go to the last page, but it's not taking me there directly. I want to see if it's going to show. So if you have any other question, you can ask, so we can save time till I get to this last page.
So we have 2 minutes to round up this section. But seeing that we started 5 minutes past the time, we're going to also extend the end time to 5 minutes. So we'll be ending at 5 minutes past 8 West African time. So if there are any other questions, put it in the chat box. We'll try to complete. So there's a question. Say, I realized I fucked with the HTTPS link, but while pushing, I was doing the SSH configuration, but I still could not push. What could that be? What could be the problem? I want to talk about the HTTPS config for someone who fucked with the HTTPS link.
So that is what I just explained earlier. So if you do a Git clone with the HTTPS, so when you want to push, you just have to do like your Git login. Let me check if I can quickly get that. Let's just search Git login. So you have to log into your Git first. Git log, just do this. Use command line. So let me see. So you have to do this. So remember, it's giving an error then that we should do something, git commit. If you see, is it here? I think is it here that we are trying to push? I can see. Yeah, I think, right? It's giving us something like git config, blah, 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 blah. So what you need to do is just follow this. It's because you haven't configured the git yet. So that's why, in order to save yourself all this stress, that's why it's better to just use SSH key. So what you need to do is use git config, your username, your email, then add your email address, then check the configuration to run, blah, 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 blah. Then that should fix that. So I can paste this in the chat for those that that need this. So that's just what you need to do, and then it will solve it. Yeah, okay. Any other question? So I will try and paste this also in the WhatsApp group. So you can paste it in the WhatsApp group so you can read about it. So in summary, you will need to spend more time reading documentation. I know some of us might not know about this SSH key before. You get another way in which you can do this. So if you want to start a new project afresh, just put in your SSH key, blah, 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 blah. So once you are done, delete your SSH key. It makes it more secure. When you want to practice or do something, you just do your SSH key and that's all. So, any last question? Okay, if there's none, then I can say thank you all for joining. Over to
Okay,
you,
thank you,
Royavi.
Mr. Oluwasegun Adesonya. Just to confirm with Mr. Kinsley, please, this meeting is being recorded. How do we get the link for the recording for those that didn't join and would like to, or those that joined and would also like to go back to further understand the explanations that have been given? To you, Mr. Kinsley, if you're still on the call, please.
Okay,
Yes.
I think I will share it to the mentor group. We can just pass it across the group. But I felt it is very important that everybody attend the meeting. I think we should not just leave it be that okay, there will be recorded section provided.
Yeah,
So that's it, not the essence.
I agree
Because
because literally what we are doing.
Yes, because if we are doing this, if we keep up with this, people will not be attending the meeting. They say so far there is recorded section. So if they ask for it, we should not really, I don't think we should give it out. We should give it out to people that really attend the meeting and encourage others to attend the meeting. Or just give a last warning today. After today's maybe meeting, they won't be sharing any recorded sections again.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kinsley. That's very, very clear advice. I agree with you, right? I really agree with you. So just like you heard Mr. Kinsley said, and also on behalf of all the mentors, the recording going forward will be made available only to those who have participated in the section and probably need to re-listen to it. And please spread this information. We're also going to communicate it in the WhatsApp group. For those who do not attend the section, the recording will not be made available. You can obviously, they can ask questions in the group, interact with others in the forum as well, but we want to make sure that only those who took out that time, this is just 1 hour. I think if you've committed at least 10 hours a week to a program that you know is important to you and is going to be part of things that would change your life for better, taking out 1 hour a week to, you know, get extra understanding of this part, I don't think it's too much. So please, let's pass this information to other people. And once again, I want to say thank you to all the mentors. Thank you so much to Ms. Oluwasegun Adesonya. Thanks for taking out the time to explain and answer all the questions that we have. And again, to NIT Hub sponsor and our representative, thank you, Mr. Kinsley, for always being there to help us resolve one issue or the other. You know, I know we've disturbed you a lot in this last week, but thank you. We celebrate you so much. And to all the other mentors, thank you for taking out your time to go through the forum, you know, go through discussions, provide insight and more input, giving the right guidance. We celebrate you too. Thank you so much. Without much ado, we have 1 more minute to end this section. I don't know if any of the mentors have something to round up to say in conclusion before we close. Thank you. Anyone has something else to say?
So one last thing, I haven't seen like all of us has followed all the mentors. And again, I don't see us following ourselves also. So you can feel free to paste your LinkedIn on the group so we can follow one another. And also you can follow the Visprots LinkedIn pages on the LMS platform. So you can paste it on the group too. So you can just follow the page, follow one another, then comment on our post, like it, we share. So that's why we build the network.
Okay, thank you so much for that last tip, Ms. Oluwasegun Adesonya. Once again, thank you to everyone that came. I hope you had answers to your questions as regards the whole Git assignment. And I hope you learned something and you go on, have a beautiful learning week ahead. Look forward to interacting with you on the WhatsApp group, in the forum, the discussions section, on LinkedIn, all available means for interaction. I look forward to interacting with everyone Until then, have a beautiful learning week and have a great weekend. Try to get some fun as well. Ciao. Good night from here.
Good night.